9,
10. Hey.
Hi. Y'all, this tapping in my ear. Are you texting? Shanti, were you just texting? You can't text in the middle of the episode. It hurts my feelings because you text long ass paragraphs.
Yeah, what up with you though?
You are such a Negro. Yo, what up with you though, queen?
What up with you though? If I could, you know what new young kid word I realized I have internalized? Riz. This nigga got the riz. I feel like if I was a nigga that had to put pressure on somebody, I would have the riz. Yo, what's up with you though? It's gonna be like, I don't know, I had a hard day at work.
Really stressed out.
Yo, what's up with you though? You are.
I don't have the riz. So you know when I have I don't even know what the riz is if I'm being honest. But the only time I have it is when
you got the riz in bed. Yeah. She like, yo, bend that back, nigga.
No.
Take that ass up.
That's what I'm like. I got a little bit of riz to me.
Yeah, you do. And mine is the reverse.
You do too. No.
And mine's reverse. And then when they give me the bed, I'm like,
oh yeah, you're really flirty.
Give me a clap. Give me a clap, Papa. They're like, why you got a German accent? What?
Because people didn't even see that meme to even know what you talking.
Give me a clap. They're like, yo, where you from?
People, what the fuck that meme?
Dutch?
that meme is so funny. They was like, Dutch is so what they say? What is it, Dutch?
Dutch? I don't know what it
Dutch
is.
is so stupid. They were like, could you imagine being with a bitch in the bed?
What did it say? Well, the translation was like, I don't remember what it was.
Like, yeah, daddy, something.
It was smack like, me or something. Give me a clap, Papa. Like, hit it from the back. Give me a clap. That's me. Like, yo, whatever you thought you said, it translated to this. I don't get it. What'd you say? The amount of times I thought I was like saying something, and nigga was like, huh? Huh? And if you in bed and a nigga asks you what, you fail. What? What? And then I'm like, what did I say?
Either they didn't hear you or what you said was trash.
Or what I said was what?
So if they didn't hear you, you weren't even commanded.
I wasn't saying it with my 10 toes down. Whenever they say,
it wasn't the riz.
And they try to give it back to you in a sexy voice too, like, huh, what you say? And then I'm like turned off by them. This is real life, it counts. And then I'm like, oh God. Come. Can you come? Can you come on? Oh my God. Yo, we are 4 minutes in. God damn. Oh my God. Oh God, help me. Lord of mercy. Oh God, Monty.
No. Keep it, Monty. This shit come out on a Thursday. People need to laugh at the office. Keep it. Shanti, I am concerned about your lovemaking. Give me on clap, Papa.
Give me a clap.
Mr. Papa.
What? 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 Huh? Come.
You just need anyway. Enough. What are your updates?
I don't know. I don't even have the outline up. This has been wild and free over here. Oh, this isn't transition very well.
Come on.
For all of you that have watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, I feel very enticed by the Void. I feel like the Void was the villain in the movie, right? Like the Void in Everything Everywhere All at Once was this was this archetype or this archetype of a bagel. And the bagel was an everything bagel, and it represented nothingness, like nothing in life matters. There's no point to it. So just like give up. Give up. It don't mean nothing. Every time you try to like get deep, make sense of the things, there's always this other little voice that's like, but it doesn't really matter. And I'm like this close to just diving into it and being like, for real, it doesn't really matter, because there's a release, there's a freedom, there's an expectation that is no longer there when you just are like, nothing means anything. And with all that's going on in the world right now, with my own personal shit, most importantly, and I don't want to dismiss people that are in the void, because I feel you, I see you. Every time you try to make sense of, every time you try to find the silver lining, every time you try to pathologize and be like, oh, it's because of trauma or capitalism or da-da-da-da-da, the void beckons you to be like, yeah, and it doesn't mean anything. It just doesn't mean anything. Like politics, it doesn't mean anything.
What does mean something?
I'll tell you from my personal account, right? Like we've been talking about, and I'm going to just keep using this as the invite into the void, is this war on Gaza, genocide, the way that we're all being gaslit, the way that the mask and the intentions and the misuse of power and the darkness that pervades over the world in this moment makes you be like, oh, this shit really doesn't mean anything. Like me trying to find justice, trying to like fight, like this shit doesn't mean anything. And then the sorrow or the guilt or the shame that you feel when you do find moments of enjoyment. I feel like this nothingness or this meaninglessness part tries to capture those moments of lightness, capture those moments of laughter and good feeling, and like suck it into it so that it doesn't mean anything. But I've been taking showers in the morning, and rather than being like, this is fucked up that I'm enjoying this shower, this is fucked up that people haven't been able to experience the warmth of water and cleansing on their body, I've just been sitting with like, oh, what a treat this is. What a privilege this is. What a beautiful start to my day. I feel like the ways in which we're invited to negate and neutralize the beauty in life because of how fucked up everything is. I've been trying to move away from the void and being like, oh, this makes it all the more important, all the more ecstatic, all the more, let me just like live in this moment even more. So like my showers, laughing with people, my interactions with my daughter, all of them, I'm just trying to sit with and embody even more rather than dive into this void of like, it doesn't mean anything. Everything is just.
But you just said nothing means anything. So where are you going? You're going away from the it doesn't mean anything,
No,
or you're
I
going
feel like I'm
towards
being
it?
invited to go into that.
Mm-hmm.
But when I have these glimpses of like joy, of happiness, of sheer pleasure of having water on my body, rather than being like, oh, I'm not allowed to feel this thing because people in Gaza haven't had access to water in
I
days.
understand that, but does
I'm
that mean
like,
that it means something?
it does. It means
Okay.
it's even all the more important. It's all the more
Okay.
bright. It's all the more a liveliness. It's all the more like this is good, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not negated and it's not neutralized. It's like it's important. Like sit in that. It's good. Be in it. It's wonderful. It's not.
It all
It's not.
means something.
It means something, and make it mean something. And when it means, and when you have these glimmers of like, oh, this means something to me, feel it, love it, embody it. And I've been trying to do that versus being like, fuck it, this doesn't mean anything. And for whatever reason, showers is like a kink to me, like having warm water on my body, and it's always at the start of my day that I'm like, I love it here. This is wonderful. I'm grateful. Thank you. Goes back to like this feeling gratitude. That's all. Might not make sense, but to me it does. So. Mm-hmm.
Good job. I don't really have updates outside of I'm done with The Walking Dead.
Good.
I'm done. I fucking
Let
had
that
it.
shit die.
I made it further than you. And you probably would have told me not to watch it if you saw what I saw. If you saw what I saw and how I saw it, it was so dumb. Do you want me to tell you?
No, because you're gonna ruin it for other people.
Y'all shouldn't watch it either. Because I'm going to just say, to take the lead character and to have their ending be so flaccid and weird.
Oh.
It was dumb. I will tell you later what they did. And it wasn't even an ending. It was like where did he go? It was so dumb.
What they
All
do to
for a
Rick,
cash
bro?
grab.
What did they do with Rick?
Girl. Rick
Girl, where
ass
Rick at?
was
Rick had
trying
another
to
job. He said, yo, I got an HBO special coming up. Holla at me later.
girl, that Rick was trying to get a herd away from this bridge he was building. Get it? He's building a bridge. Because guess what? When he finally met up with old boy who was wreaking havoc, he ain't kill him. He instead tried to make peace between all of the goddamn communities and kept him in a jail.
And we're like,
Bye, girl.
impossible.
And well, it was impossible because Maggie wanted blood, and it was ripping the communities apart.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, a big
Palestine
ass
and
herd
Israel
was
one.
a big ass herd was coming, and Rick was on a horse trying to lead him away. He fell on a random
stone
center block that something shot up between his, like, I don't know what that is, ribs, whatever. And so then he hoisted himself off of there somehow. He's bleeding out on this horse. He's having all these these flashbacks. I was about to say backlashes. Flashbacks with the different characters that have all died. So you got Glenn in there. You got Herschel in there. You got all these throwbacks. Yeah, where they're like, you just got to keep going. You just got to keep going. He's like, Shane showed up. You know, it was really powerful. And then they realize Rick is missing. And they're like, oh my God, he's trying to protect the bridge. And everybody runs and they see Rick. And Rick is like, they're like, we can protect you, but it's a huge herd. And Rick looks and he's just like, go. And Michonne's looking and she's screaming, no.
What happened to Rick?
Blows the bridge up.
Who blows the bridge up?
Rick. He blows the bridge up that he was trying to protect in order to drown and blow up the herd. But here's the worst part. This motherfucker washes up down the river or stream, and the trash can lady sees him.
What? The woman that's from Denmark all of a sudden to give me a clap. Colony is back.
She speak regular now. This bitch gets on the phone or gets on the walkie-talkie. A helicopter comes and she says, I have a type B. Because she was bartering. She was bartering with these people in these helicopters, bartering people. And they never explained what a type A versus a type B was. But
versus a type B?
She gets him into the fucking helicopter to never be seen again. And he's alive.
He is a type B nigga.
You don't even know what that means. But did you hear what I just said?
Yeah. Nonsense.
He just leaves. And then I Googled what happens at the end and it's just dumb. All to try to start a fucking...
next season.
Yeah, a sequel. Spinoff. Give me
capitalism at its worst. Fuck you.
Taking control of the art. It was disgusting. And I was so angry. And I talked all that shit about how I was going to finish that show. And I said, I fucking had it with y'all.
I'm very happy that you did. I can't take any
more.
Although some people are telling you to keep going. Like a young Harriet in their prime.
I won't. I won't keep going. 19 times is it. Harriet, she hung it up after a while. When they did that to Rick, it would have been better if he died. That would have been like, wow, he sacrificed himself for his people. But you just dip and nobody ever hears from you. And then I read that Michonne somehow was pregnant with this baby.
Not a biracial baby.
She has a biracial baby. And then also there's Judith, who wasn't even his, just really his wife's and Shane's, that she was raising. And then she just leaves.
Not a black single mother.
No, she leaves. She abandons the kids and leaves them at the community when she finds out Rick is still alive somewhere in some foreign tech place and being held hostage to work. What?
What tech place? He over there Googling shit? What?
It's some sort of, I don't know.
Listen to us. Fuck
I
the
hate
Walking Dead. Let it go.
It's terrible.
Now it's time for you to start Breaking Bad because that's where the real niggas is at.
I know.
That's where the art is formed.
So that was your last Walking Dead update, y'all. It's terrible. They've ruined it. And I'm done. Never to go back. Ever.
Oh. We're talking about Kelly Price or no?
I don't feel like it. Kelly Price could sing. I rediscovered Kelly Price. And I saw this post. And it was like, one of the producers was saying, you know, Kelly Price came in on a friend of mine. And she sang that in one take. Basically like the reference for it. And then she was like, all right, I gotta go because I got these kids that I gotta feed. Literally, that's what he said. And I went back and listened to that damn friend of mine and I said, wow. And not the remix with Ronald Isley. The original one, that's what she laid down. That lady can sing and she does not get enough credit.
I'm on a friend of mine. I don't know how to sing.
Yeah, that's it. She left with my man.
Uh-huh.
Remember? It's the backgrounds in
Is that what she said? He lied.
Yep. Keep going.
That's all I know. She's singing, he lied. She lied. Damn.
She anyway. She took all she can. Bitch. Anyway, y'all should listen to Kelly Price. All right. Now we're going to go to voicemails. We have 2 voicemails. Oh, I didn't do it. You're right. Do it again.
You're rushing. Chill.
Take it easy. All right.
Go. Right. Take it easy.
I'm not rushing. Am I rushing?
Oh. A little bit. But go ahead.
See, you got the Riz right now, but then you'd be like, I'd be like, huh?
What'd you say?
You say go low? It's lower? All right, you're right. Are you ready, sis? You moist? All right. Mm-hmm. Ciao. Okay. Here is thought I had it.
That's how they be too. That's how them niggas be.
Thought I had it.
Damn.
No, they be like, I got that shit, right? Ooh. Like, yeah, you did. It was really nice.
Ooh. Thanks. I'd be like, nope. That's where you and me differ. I'd be like,
do you really say no? You a lie.
I'd be tapping on the shoulder
talk
like,
all that shit.
Antoinette, I swear to God. I tap on the shoulder. I tap on the shoulder, and I'm like,
lift it up a little higher.
Yeah, come give me a hug because this ain't working.
I just want to kiss you.
Exactly.
I just want to feel your weight on top of me.
Because you're getting on my nerves now.
Boom. Shout out to him.
Could you imagine a nigga going down on you? You tap on his shoulder. He comes up. You whisper in his ear, "Boo."
Should I be vulnerable right now? I had somebody.
You should, if a nigga ain't doing it, you should be tap on, be like, come on.
I'm gonna be honest. I think part of that is my fault, and you know why. Yeah,
it's not your fault. Fault is something that you can change, so it's part of your condition, your way of being.
I have a condition.
I think you're about to free up a lot of women. I'd say do it.
Do it?
Yeah.
Because I had asked my GYN about it too.
What'd she say? She was like, yeah, that John.
So one time, guys, there was this person and he happened to be below me. And he was like, we were very playful people. And he said, girl with this little ass clit. Like, and I was like, I knew it because there's something not very pronounced. And I've looked this up. A lot of women, obviously your clitoris is large. It's as big as the penile organ, but it's mostly internal. But most women have a pea-sized button that when you see her flower, the button is at the very top. Now, some women, can you stop texting in my ear? You are pissing me off. It's so loud. Seriously.
Wait a minute.
It's full fucking paragraphs. Stop.
All right, I apologize. Go ahead.
Just pick up your fucking phone and do it.
Okay. That's a good point. I apologize.
And who are you texting? Because you're talking to me.
Go ahead.
So who you
listen to what you're saying? And I want to text somebody, be like, is my clitoris small? Like, is my clitoris? I'm actually texting somebody.
Don't do that.
Ask them.
I want you not to do that because you're drinking and you're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to have regrets about this. And I know it.
Just about.
No, this is how you get when you drink.
Stop. Stay focused, Antoinette.
The nerve of you. Stay focused. Gaslighting me. Okay. Anyway, some women have more pronounced clitori than others. And I have not a very pronounced clitoris. He was like, yo, I was having a hard time finding it. Did I find it? And I was like, almost. Give me your hand. And so we had like a whole thing.
And then there was a training, and then there was a tutorial.
But it still, he couldn't find it. I'm realizing, and this is a tip, if you have a clitoris that's less, if you just have a clitoris, but especially when it's less pronounced, oftentimes men think, or women, people think, non-binary folks as well, that stop. I was saying everybody, you idiot.
I love how you did it. People.
So
/ people.
Let me finish.
I'm sorry.
So you can you should rub it the same way you would rub your eyelid. If you were taking your makeup off, that is how you should rub it. The same pressure at first. It doesn't have to be so intense. People think they have to go so hard, so quickly, especially if they cannot see your button. Just ask someone to guide you. Guide me to where it is, and then you do your circular, slow motions, and then according to their response, you respond. I once asked somebody, how are your hands? And he said responsive, and I was like, yes, king. That's what you want to hear. That means you're paying attention. And ladies, speak up. Talk about the pressure. Show them on their bodies.
Explore your body.
The best place to start, I'm telling you, is to say the way you would touch your eyelid. That's how you touch it at first.
To the motherfuckers that are listening to this and feeling prickly and like, oh, we're oversharing, grow up. But to everybody else, the range, the way you weren't expecting this to go, and now you taking fucking notes, take notes. I love this for us. I really do. Because you're preaching right now. That's real shit. For real.
You touched your eye. Am I right?
Yeah.
That's the pressure,
and
right?
And there's something about the way men think that it's like this hard, like
and fast thing.
Yeah, just like
and
slow your roll.
And so much pressure.
Explore. Be curious. Be apprehensive before you act like you know what the fuck you're doing. Actually, just like explore. Like, actually be curious and not just men, women. What you say? Women, people too.
But we should help. There's nothing better.
We have to guide.
We have to guide because it's a tricky
and
place.
You don't have to have all the answers in your guidance, right? Like, you're not necessarily taking them to this place. It's like, you're going together. Let's go together. Oh, I love this for Around the Way Curls.
Direct. One of the best things somebody could do is please themselves in front of you. Learn so much. You could be in the middle of pleasing your partner, and then you look up and say, let me see, I want you to help me. And then you can see how they, you know.
She got the Riz voice on. You hear it?
No, I'm seeing
that for you. That's how it is. They be like,
but you can see how they can
say. Okay.
Amplify what you're already giving them. And you're like, oh. Anyway. To all the ladies with
curls, girls, you going
small unpronounced clitori. I know. I shout to you, and you know who you are, and you're seen, right?
Let me touch your button. Let me touch your button. You know that song?
No, but
it's a Wyclef song. Let me touch your button.
Is that how he said it, Shanti?
Yes, he says it. Let me touch your button. Let me touch your button. For people who know that song, they're screaming. For everybody else, they don't know. But you gotta look it
ready? Up. Voicemails. Here we go. Every week. Don't write the time. I tested this. You heard it. I did not change this from the last episode, and now all of a sudden it doesn't work.
Oh no.
What happened?
My drone dropped.
Is it still recording? All right, I'm about to do this. You ready?
Yeah. The way you say you're about to do it, I'm not.
Because it's still not registering. And you know what it is? It's something about Google. Turn it back on. Turn it off, turn it on. It's something about Google Voice connecting to it that it acts up. Something about it. All right, it looks like it's going to work. Ready?
Hey, my name is Justin from Atlanta. Calling again. I just want to let y'all know that I'm calling about episode Black. I can't even say it right. Black Photopia. Yeah, it was one of my favorite episodes by far. I just love everything y'all do. I love how Antoinette wants to buy a gun and survive in the wild. I would love to see how once you learn all these survival skills, I would love for you to teach Shanti. That'd be hilarious. And I just love how, Internet's all, everything's going to be fine. There's hope and, everything's going to get better. And all while Shanti's like, fuck it, burn it all down, tear it all down, start over. So I just love the range. And I fuck with y'all heavy. I tell everybody about you guys. I fucking love this. This is one of my top 2 favorite podcasts. And just FYI, this is for Shanti. FYI, Shanti. I know you got a lot going on, but whenever you're free and available, I would love to shoot my shot. Whenever you're open and ready for it, I would love to shoot my shot.
An intentional king. He said he's from Atlanta too.
Atlanta. You know I'm trying to move to Atlanta. I'm gonna be down there soon.
For real?
Yeah.
What you finna do in Atlanta? You want to hit up Justin?
I had bought, anyway, I'm not gonna go into it, but I had bought tickets that then I put on a credit. So I have a credit to Atlanta because nothing ever happened for the concert.
Oh, you bought tickets?
I was ready to go. So I got tickets.
You ain't answered the question. Are you going to see Justin? You gonna hit Justin up? Because we got his number. The man that just called, Shanti. What would you
I said Timberlake girl? Oh, he's on our shit list. That lipstick was the wrong one too.
She just put lipstick on. Are you gonna talk to Justin? Come on.
I don't know, Justin. I don't know, maybe. Where we going? Yes. Like, sure, why
Justin,
not?
call back. After
where we going?
Episode,
where you
Justin,
at in Atlanta? Where
back.
we gonna go? I'm trying to see Savannah. I'm trying to see the outskirts. I'm trying to go to outskirts of Georgia.
You trying to go on a car ride with Justin?
What is it? How about a first date car ride? I kind of love that first date. You stuck in a car with a nigga. You just talking. I kind of love that. But
you hear that, Justin? You trying to drive her to Savannah? I got her location, so I'll be watching the whole car ride.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds like Shanti has a date, y'all. Ew.
Shut up.
All right. Next up.
Oh my word. This is my first voicemail. Super excited to listen to the episode. I'm 40 seconds in. The timing thing is great. I just wanted to say I really, 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 really appreciate and thank you from the bottom of my heart that I am getting educated on this because I feel like I know what to say. So I always felt like I didn't really have like a choice. Like I don't want to know. I don't want to know. It's too hard. It is so hard to take what's going on right now. Also feel like choosing sides and making sure I feel that it's the right side, if that makes sense. I just wanted to say, like, I'm very happy that I'm getting educated on this because I strongly feel what Antoinette feels. Like, it is so tough to just live when there's somebody dying as I'm driving my car to work. And I have to work and I have to talk to people and smile in front of their face and just be like, and hear people complain about people's feelings to make a living, like, they doing what they gotta do. And then also talking about food and like, it's just so much. But I'm so glad I'm getting educated on this. I'm just super passionate about what I hear from you guys and how I feel throughout the day. And I want to share. I'm sharing with so many people. I'm like, well, listen to this podcast called Round the Way Curls. They broke down everything. Their stance on it is like 10 toes down. Like, to me, like, Antoinette and Shanti, I love what you're doing. And I don't know. Wow. This was a lot. Sorry, guys. I had a pen. But, like, when I have a pen, like, I feel like I can get some things out. It just went down. I guess I just wanted to say I really, really do appreciate you guys educating me and taking the time to do the research and then sharing with me. Because it hits. I feel it. I'm just like, I feel it. I just feel it. I feel it. Love you guys. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Bye.
She's cracking herself up. That's cute. That it's interesting. I wanted to play that based off of what you said earlier.
What did I say?
Everything matters. Yeah, the void. She said what I say. Lord, forgive us. We got those dark forces in us. All right. Let's take a break. Would you like to sing?
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Look at how you wrote that time, sis.
Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom.
3 or
I really
3.
have to use the bathroom. I just drank a half a bottle of wine. I apologize. Jolie, ain't no way your light's still on. Go to bed. Turn off the light and get in bed. You hear me? Go to bed right now.
I'm not impressed by that one. Oh my God. Come on, Shanti. It's 11.
Not yet. Go to bed. Your hair looks great. Ready? All right. And so we're back. So I'm new on the dating scene after a while of being off. And I've been considering and observing my own interactions with people, observing my girlfriend's interactions with people. And there's lots of like first dates. And I've been sitting with, we all know this, my makeup word, adage? Just say words. We all know this idea that you should, the adage of you should judge somebody by their cover. And like, when you're going on a date with someone.
We should or we shouldn't?
We should or shouldn't. I don't know. Hopefully by this end of this episode. Don't judge a book
by its cover.
This idea of judging something by its cover. These very quick judgments that we make around somebody, right? And so through what would you call that? Through evolutionarily speaking, humans, this is like an adaptive, making quick judgments is an adaptive characteristic that we've had to develop, right? Like if somebody has fangs, something's big, you see those fangs and your mind immediately is like, oh, this is dangerous. I gotta fucking run. right? It's a survival mechanism. And so that same kind of like quick judgments that we make modern day, where yes, we don't have the same life-threatening characteristics, but still there's something in us that's like, oh, I'm going to look at this person and I'm going to make a judgment because it's going to be in my best interest. It's going to help me survive in some kind of way, or it's going to benefit me in some kind of way. And I myself find myself, I think about my past relationships. I think about dating in the future, of how to weigh, like, do I follow these quick judgments that I have, or do I give it some time to kind of play out and see what happens? And I know in my past relationships, I would give it like 70 to 80% of the time, my quick judgments were kind of on point about the men that I was with, found myself with. But I had to like play this thing out, like, let me give him a chance. So I guess I'm sitting with, what are your red flags? What are your quick judgments that are so easily deemed as superficial? Like, girl, you're just being superficial. You're being, yeah, I guess it's the best way. You're being superficial. You should dive in a little bit more to see if this is really true. Or do you just follow it and be like, I've seen enough. This ain't gonna work for me. I don't actually have the time, the resources, or the interest in quote unquote seeing what happens. And what do we do? Do we follow that? Or do we give these individuals the benefit of the doubt? So yes, these may seem superficial. They may seem silly, but I did my very best, and of course I'm missing some things. And if you have anything to add, I'd love to see what you would have to add. But I tried to break down these red flags into different categories for us to all kind of sit with when we do go on dates, to kind of measure, is this motherfucker worth my time? And this is for men and women, non-binary folks, to sit with. So I broke them down into the date, location, and selection, clothing choice,
the whole thing,
food choices, political views, religious views, relationship with money, and touch. I have my red flags. I don't know if you looked at this. You sat with this. So I'll lead the way then to give you some guidance as to what is going to be your answers. But let's start with the date, location, selection. So if I'm on a...
I'm so sorry. Conversation or like transparency should be in there. No?
Conversation? But what? How do you deem, like, what do you mean?
Well, hopefully you're talking. So I think that there's some red flags within the conversation.
Okay, I'll let you lead on that. Now I'm going to put that on, I'll make that after the date selection. I love that. What? God damn it.
It's fine. You don't have to write it. Don't worry. Just keep going.
What would air. What else would you put as an important thing that may be missing here?
What is that? Temperament. I can lead on that. Temperament is important. And then if there's something else that comes up, we can go to it. But keep going.
Okay. All right. So numero uno. For me, these are my red flags. These are things, and red flags could be your non-negotiables. They could be interchangeable. If I'm going on a first date with somebody, and mind you, these are like, I don't know this person. This is a hookup. This is like, I met you once. I gave you my number. Now we're about to link up. These are red flags for me. I can't remember what I said, but now it'll be revealed to me as well. I don't want to go to an arcade, a golf course, or a fancy dinner. I say this because I'm 37 years old, right? And these prescribed invites to like have fun, quote unquote, with somebody, I'm not interested in, versus I guess my love language for myself is like a meandering, is like this open-ended thing. And I don't know that an arcade or a golf course really invites that, versus like this is like a set tone for fun that I just am not. It reminds me of like a Dave and Buster's setting. Like if as a 37-year-old woman, you're inviting me to go to Dave and Buster's. To me, we just like have a difference of what getting to know one another is, what diving into fun means, and what settings or what what settings invite that kind of fun that I want to have, or the kind of getting to know somebody that I want to have is. It just feels very like Chuck E. Cheese, very prescribed, very like, this is fun. We're going to do this thing together. Guaranteed good time. Let's go. I also feel like a very, very fancy dinner, and that connects to what we talked about last week with you around like luxury, around like the expectations of how one should present at a fancy dinner for a first date, sets up for me and how I would respond to that. And that's less about the person, and I take accountability. That's more about me. But these are things that would make me be like, I don't know if this is the right link up for the two of us. What say you?
I disagree with you wholeheartedly on the arcade. For me, I would love that because I don't have a lot of play or time for play. And I also meandering. Like if for me a red flag on a first date is if you don't have a plan.
Two types of people in the world.
If you hit me up and say, what do you want to do? And you ask me out, I'm going to be irritated immediately. Like if you hit me up like, and not you're trying, we can collaborate on what we're actually going to do. But like it's day of, a couple hours before, it's like, so what you trying to do? What? You asked me out.
This is an arcade, but I hear you. Yeah.
No. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that is. What I'm saying is I actually would love if somebody hit me up and said, I haven't made a plan. We're going to go to the arcade because I need more play. I've had I actually had a couple first dates at Dave & Buster's, and that's what I wanted to do. Okay. And I felt like I got a very good idea of who they were because I know that I come out more there. Now you're getting to see me, my very playful side. You're getting to see my competitive side. You're getting to see my flirtatious side because I'm probably beating you at something and then, flirting with you a little bit around it. Like, I think there's just room for like to keep it lighthearted and to just observe one another and enjoy company.
In a container.
Yeah.
But the antithesis would be like, hey, what you trying to do? You want to just like meet up and see how the day unfolds?
For a date location, that's really my red flag. I've gone on bike rides for a first date and we grabbed Chipotle and sat on a stoop. I've gone to first date was me flying out to meet them and they're taking me out on a fancy night on the town. Like, and it's like, well, bring a dress. Like all of that's like, okay, fine. Yeah, there's a level of like, oh my God, what the fuck am I gonna wear? But that's still exciting for me as well. It's mostly have a fucking plan. Like
no plans is a red flag.
No plans for me is a red flag. Because to me, that shows no intention.
Word. You heard it here first.
Conversation and transparency is important to me. Just based off of, are you kind to the service folks that are around us? If you're not, this is immediately not going to work. I guess that leads into temperament as well, but I have something else with temperament. But also just, are you forthcoming? Are you easy to talk to? Or do you feel elusive? Do you feel hard to read? Do you feel mysterious? And like every time I've been with somebody who was elusive, mysterious, and hard to read, they were elusive, mysterious, and hard to read. And so it was like hard to get my arms around them.
Conversation.
You're like, I'm elusive, mysterious, and hard to read.
Exactly. I feel like for the first date, humor is very important. I don't feel ignited or invited to share the depths of myself or somebody else, but I feel like that's where I'm learning humor. So maybe if somebody's not playful and like I'm not going back and forth and bantering and like figuring out what I feel like that's this tone for humor. So if there's not a red tone for me, if there's not any like humor,
and there's an openness involved in that.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Yeah, I feel like so much around wit and intellect, and
you learn a lot.
So if there's no humor and it's all like the serious thing, and then
if there's humor and you don't like the humor.
If you don't like the humor,
then
you're dead to me.
Okay.
So this feels really trivial, but I think this is so important. Clothing choice. You go out on the first date with somebody, they pull up, this is what they got on.
You're crazy.
So maybe this is a Philly phenomena. I'm not sure.
It's not.
But there's this phenomena, men of really tight jeans that are ripped from like the knee all the way up to the thigh to the pocket. No tolerance for it. Absolutely not. There's no justification. I don't get it. I don't like it. This is really interesting. I'm going to do this J. Cole on y'all. The red hats. The red... If a nigga comes up, he got a red hat, a yellow hat, or an orange hat.
What kind of hat? The little
beanies? These are a signal for like these creative artsy niggas, which are very enticing to me. It's my kink, which now I find to be a red flag of like, well, what does this mean? Because I immediately assume this one thing about this person and like give him all this credit and all this like allure. All I got to say is, niggas, you can really fuck a woman's head up by the hat that you're wearing. If you have that little kufi hat on, the little Aladdin hat on, you're saying a lot. If you come, you got a fitted hat on. You got a bucket.
There's different types of fitteds, though. If you got the razzle dazzle fitted, or you got the just,
not the razzle.
They're terrible. Fitted. The razzle dazzle fitteds with all the colors that match your sneakers that match it. My God, you got a classic fitted.
I don't like a classic fitted. I like the brim that you can like cap. Yeah, exactly. I like a baseball cap. I like a red hat. I'm not gonna lie, it's my kink. I love a red beanie. I'm like, oh, you're so cute, but also I'm like triggered. That's why I'm watching you.
Shout out to you, know who you are.
Super clean, and I'm never going to be able to articulate this. I don't even. Antoinette probably knows what I mean by this at this point. But there's something, and I'm not talking about hygiene. I'm talking about a man that pays just a little bit too much attention to the way that he coordinates. I'm like, I don't like it. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it's attached to, but it's a red flag for me. I'm still unpacking it. I'm just being honest.
Could it mean that his priorities are rooted in perception and keeping up with the trends and being trendy and making sure that he presents himself in a way that, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's somehow on trend. has somehow I project that it's an expectation of me that I know I can't uphold.
Oh yeah, that's your stuff, honey.
That I'm not interested in upholding. So I know that I'm projecting something, but it's also like a projection of I'm being honest about things that I'm not interested in unpacking with. I'm just not interested in doing. And maybe that's attached to like two name brand stuff. Like if a nigga pulls up with like all name brand stuff in a way that feels tacky.
Oh God, yeah.
And that's a thin line, right? Like there's some that you pull up.
If you have one name brands, I don't need to know you have one name brands.
Yeah.
Just let it be quality and let it ring out. I'm thinking about a guy that I know who wears a lot of name brands, and you know him a little bit, but you never know it.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. But even that, I'm like, interesting. Depending on the means that they have, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm judging, and I know that I am, but it's like interesting. That's what you choose to like.
That's what you prioritize.
That's what you're prioritizing, and I like know enough about you to know that like you can't flippantly spend that money on that, but you're doing that. All right. Cool.
Interesting relationship with luxury. I think for me, my main thing is the way Harlem dudes dress.
No, not her putting it all on a whole area of New York.
I'm sorry.
What do they dress
and like? Classic Harlem dudes. I'm talking about like Dipset Harlem dudes. Like it's rhinestones in your t-shirt. You still got the fitted. That flat, but
red flag.
But not clean flashy. That just gross flashy. Just like Jim Jones flashy, Cameron flashy. I can't. Don't never.
Oh,
like fabulous dresses. Yuck. And he a Brooklyn dude. Hate it. You know. I don't have many red flags when it comes to this. I kind of let most of the guys I dated all kind of dress similar. They were clean. But I don't think they were too clean. One was very
Antoinette
clean.
likes a clean.
I like a clean.
She likes a cleaner nigga than I do.
No, but I just do? But understated clean. Not like you got a fashion blog, but like your shit is a little bit tailored, maybe. Mm-hmm. You know,
very tailored, very very intentional clothing. You like that,
but it's like a plain T-shirt with some jeans, but they fit well. Mm-hmm. You know.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
I'm still looking for my Birkenstock. Bootcut Birkenstock Bay at the farmer's market.
Go.
That's a huge red flag, but I'm going for it.
A Birkenstock Bay is a red flag?
Oh yeah, at the farmer's market with a fucking tote.
That's a red flag for you. That's not a green light.
No, I want it, but it's probably a hoteppy about to fuck my whole life up.
Interesting.
Tricky. A bootcut Birkenstock Bay on a farm, green flag. At the farmer's market in Brooklyn with a tote and a red beanie, some high socks, red flag. It's tricky.
It is. Mm-hmm. Complicated. Only you know the
and
language.
And the fucking bracelets, the metal bracelets.
Bracelets. Mm-hmm. DJ a little bit here and there, photography here and there. Dibble dabble in the creative. Get the fuck out of here, yo.
Mad records in your
Mad records, deep cuts.
Mm-hmm. Fuck you, bro.
Get the fuck out of here. But also come here.
Come here real quick. All right, come on. Long ass episode.
This is yours. We're at 58 minutes, Antoinette. It's not
temperament.
That long.
Temperament is just like, again, I like to do activities on dates. If your temperament is one, I've been on dates where the person obviously had a horrible day at work and I knew it. And they were just like, they couldn't get themselves out of it. I've been on dates that they were so playful and fun and lighthearted and kind of went along with the flow and could take a joke and could jab back. Lovely temperament. I've been on dates where temperament was giving like a little bit aggressive, a little controlling, you know. I think that's important. It's like, oh, okay. Kind of cut me off when I speak a little bit. It's like, oh.
You know? That's a red flag.
For some people, they like
I'm
it.
putting a pin in that.
Some people like it.
Never gonna forget it.
Come on, food choice.
Food choices for me. These are my non-negotiable deal breakers. Chicken fingers.
They're out of here.
Don't go on a date with me and order chicken fingers. It's a certain particular kind of being that orders chicken
feel
fingers.
Every dude you
on
ever
a first
dated
date.
would get chicken
And
fingers
that's why
on a
I'm
date.
saying. And I looked past it when I should have realized, wow, there's a thread line. No, many wouldn't. Many wouldn't. But those niggas that would, I noted it.
Child.
Soda with every meal, it bothers me. Like I really sit with it, and I don't like it. I don't like that with every meal that you eat, you have to have you're addicted to sugar in a way that it just seeps into other parts and other areas of care that I'm just like, don't do that to yourself. Don't drink water. But on the other hand, I will never date a vegan. So it's tricky over here, and I apologize.
You would date a vegan. I think you would.
Nah.
What about somebody who doesn't eat chicken or beef, but he eats fish? A pescatarian.
Okay. Yes.
You'll do a pescatarian.
I could tolerate that. But a vegan, I know myself too well. I know myself too well. And no diss to them, but it'd be like, this is
I'm aligned with all of them, but I would let them eat chicken fingers. I don't give a fuck. My main thing is you won't try any new food. Food choices. If I'm like, yo, you want to try Ethiopian? You want to try this? You want to try that? And you are just like, nah, I'll do that. Absolutely not. That sounds corny. And you only want like
sounds nasty.
Chinese or American or some stuff. It's just fingers. I just can't. It's like, bro, come on. Just try it.
Red flag.
Because it's not a judgment on your palate for me. It's a judgment on your openness, your willingness to try new things and to explore. To me, it shows that you're rigid. And I want to travel. I want this. I want that.
Yeah.
Like this is not going to align. Yeah. Like I want to.
Exactly. Watch out that naga.
Martin. Political views. You already know mine.
Republican.
You cannot be a Republican. Ever. Ever. You cannot be a Republican and date me. Ever. And you cannot be someone who doesn't care about politics. You can have very strong opinions about if you feel like both parties are a joke, and you're just like, you can do that. And you want to be with the Green Party, you want to be independent, cool. Or you don't want to be with any party, cool. But you have to have an opinion. You can't just be idle and unaware. That's my if you're just unaware, and then when you are aware, you choose a Republican side, it's not gonna work. It's not fruitful over here. You're like, I don't give a fuck. Don't bring no Republicans around me, Shanti, please. You would bring a Republican to our parties?
No. I think it's more about the critical thinking behind it. I want to understand why. I want to hear why. If you're Republican, I want to hear why. If you're Democrat, I want to hear why. I think our context is important. I think exposure is important. I think values are important. I think political views share a lot about a person, and I want to hear the whys of it. I think what shuts me down is if I had to put it, and then I guess a lot of it's around the Republican, Democrat, I guess, is the use of females and how often you use females And like how often you use like agenda, like the word agenda. If you bring an agenda a lot into any of your political views, I'm like, are you my mom? Are you my dad? Triggers me. The homosexual agenda, the way they're trying to break down the nuclear family agenda. I'm like, oh God.
Your flags really are petty. And I'm here for it. I'm
They
trying
say
to
a
give
lot. They say a lot. Religious views, I don't think that I could be myself, could be with anyone that is full-fledged, like I'm Christian, I'm Muslim, I'm anything like full-fledged, this is what I do. I think that it would bring up a lot of problems. Been there, tried that. And it's less about me and more about the way that they project onto me. And I'm not interested in that. So sorry to those people. It feels that I've experienced it enough to be like, not to say that I would not do it, but it would be a flag of like, how much do they think they're going to change me or convert me or judge me for my way of being? And it's a projection on both of our ends, I admit.
I think for me, it would be anyone who, any religion or spiritual practice that prohibits me from being able to be myself.
Exactly. And it's all of them.
There are some people who Arthur Riley identifies as a Christian. I think
you
she's
ain't been
allowed.
in a relationship with a child.
Well, there are people who I know who identify as, oh, I'm Christian or I'm this, and they still understand there's nuance here.
Yes,
this
yes,
is, like,
I apologize.
But I don't know if I would do well with an atheist.
Oh, very
Agnostic,
interesting.
maybe. Like, all right, if God's here, cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
A devout, there is no God. I don't know if I would gel.
Don't actually know what my stance is on that. I take back everything.
Okay.
I do. I take it all back. Sorry about that. We'll see when we get there. I don't have any red flags. And I don't really know how to articulate this. I don't know if we even need to go into that. I have no idea what my red flags of that would be. But this one is interesting.
You should go into it.
I don't. You can lead. Relationship with money. I don't know what a red flag for me would be. I'd be a bitch if I'd be like, you spending all this money? I'd be a bitch to be like, you ain't spending no money. I would just be projecting.
But it's about you. I think for me, what I'm realizing is, if you ask me out and I'm paying for the first date, it's a fucking red flag. I've decided it. Unless you tell me, like, we're doing something that is extremely costly, and you're like, yo, do you want to do this? Like, sometimes people take a first date and it's a fucking trip. It's tricky. People be out here. No, I don't expect you to finance the trip.
That's
I also
very
don't want
good. There's context. I think that's very important, Antoinette. Yeah. Some people it's a pizza date. Some people it's a trip to Pisa. Interesting.
I paid for tea once. A tea date. Red flag. Luckily, that one I knew. It was like, I'm never talking to you again. And that person is, never mind. Yeah, that's my red flag. You need to, it's okay for you to spend money on the first date. And if I ask you out, it's okay for me to. Honestly, if I'm feeling you and I'm like, yo, you want to go get a drink? I'll get it. I will.
I feel like relationship or watching somebody's relationship with money can't be revealed on the first date. I feel like that's like
a little bit. It can
deep in the relationship.
You have somebody who's like you get the check. I've had people get the check and be like, damn, this shit, and then they start talking about how expensive New York is, how sick. Literally, that just
Never.
happened.
Never.
Complaining about their rent is going up, how they don't know. And then you start listening to, like, this place is ridiculous. I want to buy property. I want to this, but it's the tone in which that they're talking about it. And it's like
their relationship with money. Interesting.
that it's strenuous. And again, maybe that's not a red flag, but it's revealing though. It's revealing. I also have went on dates where someone only took me to places where they would get treated for free.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't know if I feel bad about that.
After like the 5th place, I was like, will you spend any money? Like, because we went out a couple times and I paid for it. I wasn't getting treated for free.
Person? Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. Who that? I don't know what it is.
Tell you later.
Oh, I think I might already know. Most recent young boy? No. I don't know.
Stop rubbing the mic.
I need to you saw me? I need to I have to go on more dates. Your girl ain't been out here. Last but not least, touch.
On the first date.
How much? How little?
I can't answer this.
I want to be touched.
How? Where? Hand on the leg?
Of course, yes. I want
a commanding touch.
Yeah, I want some kind of touch.
Secure touch.
I want some kind of like I want you energy. Touch. Yep. I want some type of like I want to know what it feels like for our thighs, our hands, your hand on my body. I want you.
But not necessarily your breasts, on your shoulder.
No. I want tasteful arm. Touch. If you're not touching me at all, if you're not dipping into that in the sake of respectability, and I get it. I know that's very tricky. I know that's a lot to ask of men. I apologize.
Well, you should touch first. Give them the go ahead.
Am I touchy? Sure.
Or because they might not want to be touched on the first date. So you got to feel it out. But if you give them inviting energy and they don't receive it, then that's interesting.
I want to feel the tension of touch. I want to feel something around.
You want to feel the
sexuality
eyelids slowly moving.
Talk about
on the little button.
I will take the accountability to be the one to invite that as well, or to welcome and to initiate rather.
But we can't assume that they want you to initiate.
But they can say no, and then I'm like, that's a red flag. For real. I feel like touch for somebody, because with me, it's very rare that I'm going out with strangers. This is somebody that I've had some type of interaction with, some type of relationship with, some type of like, oh, I like you, like me. Like we're testing this thing out. And I want that touch tension to be a part of our communication and a part of like language and information. I don't want to leave a date being like, did he like me? Was there like this physical attraction there? I don't want to just leave in my head and be like, yeah, we talked about it. I'm like, yo, did this nigga want to
bust it open for a real one?
Do I want to bust it open for a real one? Yes, it's very important for me. And I put that high in a way that I've never had in my past, that I'm like, oh, it's important to me. And I won't not ignore it. I won't wait and see with that.
My touch is if I'm touched and I recoil, red flag. Because I like touch and I'm very affectionate, but I've definitely been in situations where when this person touches me, that I know, like, okay,
immediately. I love that. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. You shouldn't be here anymore. You're not feeling this person.
Yeah.
Or the touch felt a little too. The touch just, if I recoil from the touch, because I don't recoil from touch. So if and when I do, there's a reason. And sometimes I don't have the language for that reason. I don't even have the understanding.
Come on, evolutionary instincts.
But my intuition, God, whatever, is sending something up the back of my spine, and I'm tightening.
Yep.
Instead of
that's why that shit is necessary. Submitting. Language. Yes. I love it.
Also, just too aggressive touch. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
All of it speaks volumes for us, but it's necessary. It's necessary.
I'll also say red flag with the first time you have sex. I will say that I'll give it the first 2 times, okay? If this person doesn't, if you don't have a good kiss with them by that time, and if they're not kissing, if they're only kissing your mouth, your nipples, maybe your button, and it's just hitting those boom, 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 that is such a red flag, y'all. And I say the first 2 times because it's on you to try to guide them or ask. But if that's just how they operate, then to me it shows that there's not enough care. Like and at this point, at 36, and as much bad intimacy
folks listening to
and sex that I've had that felt so empty, or it was so one-sided where my pleasure was not considered. I have 0 tolerance for that now. It's like, even if we are not going to pursue a relationship, or a relationship as society like acknowledges relationships to be, there has to be care. There has to be aftercare. I want to
come
be
on,
aftercare
is a whole other episode.
I'm serious. I want to be swallowed up in you. I want to be enthralled. I want to feel good, and I want you to feel good. I don't have any time to be performing pleasure or performing for that person, or just like auditioning for love, where I'm just gonna fuck you into like being with me. There's no time for that anymore. And if you feel that way, if you feel like I gotta do this to make sure this dude stay with me or stick with me, or I gotta fuck the shit out of him instead of, oh, I can't wait to enjoy this, red flag. Because the space and the energy should already be created for you to just be like, I'm gonna melt into this. I'm going to just release into this. We're gonna have fun. And if you can't have fun, and you just gotta make sure he know how good it is, red flag. Red flag for you too, because it sounds like you're not ready.
For you. I don't project onto him. Red flag for you and your.
But there are people that your tolerance and your willingness to accept it. But there are people who, Shanti, they create that atmosphere, and they'll even say it. They'll even make jokes like that.
What?
Like, you gotta put it down for me. You gotta show me.
No. Sex with me is.
I don't believe that for a second.
It's just okay. I love that. Listen now. Listen. I would love for everybody to sit with their gut instincts, right? Especially, maybe not. Maybe this is even for the young Johns, but especially for us old heads that have spent a lot of time like, let me see what happens. I felt this thing, but one child, years later, 5 years later.
No, but I don't think it has to be, I think don't judge a book by its cover is not a first impression or just how they look. That's what that means. Some shit but I think you have to, I would give it at like 5-6 dates. If it don't shift, or no, maybe not 5 max, but like 3-5 dates. No, I'm serious, 3-5 dates. Because unless they're just rude, they're uncouth. Like there's certain things he's like, I'm never going out with this person again. I've done that too. But some people are so a little shy, or they take a second to like just just let loose and relax. And I think if they can't do it for us, because other people love a shy guy or love a shy girl, love playing coy. Fine for us. Some people,
I would say
I'm not gonna
this.
say I know somebody just based off of the first time, the first interaction.
I would just say do not ignore those gut instincts.
No.
Let them lead the way. Let them be in the forefront, not the back front. I did not like this. This did not feel right. Yeah, I'm gonna give them another chance to see. But the other chance is to interrogate those things versus ignore them and try to find something that outweighs it, or like, diminishes this core instinct of like, this doesn't sit right with me. I don't like it.
But that's the main thing, though. What you said, interrogate. We shouldn't just make assumptions based off of what we think we're seeing or what we think we're feeling. Why can't that's something to be observed? That's something to pay close attention to. It should be. I think we should be asking questions too.
And I'll speak for myself. I won't speak for you, but I often quieted and ignored those things that carried weight to me. I was looking for something that outweighed them, and they were trivial. They were seemingly trivial, but they were integral in a lot of ways. And like
integral.
Yeah. They were important. They were threads that led to a deeper thing. Yeah, it felt long, but if I pulled that thing long enough, it was like, oh my God, what is this monster behind this strip?
The whole sweater falling apart. You keep pulling it.
Girl, that's the analogy.
The whole shit.
Anyway, good night, everybody. Thank you for listening to us. And we are finished this episode. We invite you to return again on Monday. You got more to say, girl?
No, even if I did, you ended it. Bye, y'all. Why would you do that?
Red flag.
That is a red flag.
I know I got red flags, but that's on them to choose.
That's true. You can't be green to everybody. Somebody being like, this bitch
red light, green light,
arcade. Boo.
That's the name of this. Red light, green light.
Is that the name? Oh, stop or go. That's a fun game to play with somebody.
Stop or go? I ain't never played that game.
No, red light or green light. I was playing that with that guy.
Sex game?
No, it doesn't have to be sex, Shanti. Not everything is sex. But I was playing. We were doing those
scenarios. It is.
Whatever, girl. I ain't trying to hear what you got to say. Suffer. You don't know what it's like.
Here she go.
You don't
diminishing my pain.
Nothing.
Till it equates to hers.
You ain't had sex in 2-3 months. Bye, girl. You be all right. Just go use one of them vibrators I didn't get you.
It ain't the same. It ain't the same.
That's what I've been saying. Listen.
Where the hole
I was playing the red flags and green flags game, and we would give each other scenarios while we were flirting.
I don't know what that means because that sounds.
So
like
it was like, here's
game.
A scenario. We're out. Red flag, green flag. We're yellow. You kind of like, I'm gonna keep going.
Right.
So we were doing that, and so we were getting to know like, what are your hard no's? What are your like, I think he said, I forget what I said.
You ain't had no Birkin bag. Where your bag at, bitch?
No, right. He said,
sounds like a bag. I have this reusable Trader Joe's bag that has all of my things in it.
I hate when you talk about me because you make me sound like the girl from Big Mouth. Hi guys. You know the girl.
I don't know who that is.
Yes, you do. The only
I don't watch Big
Mouth.
Not the ugly black girl.
If you knew it. But I know he said somehow I had mentioned about how I dated women. I was like, why is that a red flag? Because he was asking questions like it was, and he was like, no, that's green as fuck. And I was like, I don't like women though. I don't want to have sex with them. And then I was like, what is
vagina?
And then I was like, "Is that your kink?" I was like, "Why is that your kink?" He was like, "No, my kink is spontaneity." And I was like, "Green flag." So we were just like going back and forth, saying things about
You
ourselves.
like green flag, but don't be too spontaneous. You know exactly what we're doing, when, where, and how. Like
have a plan.
Spontaneous, but like carefully planned out with a time and
no, spontaneous, but be able to do some shit. Not spontaneous. Be like, yo, I'm trying to be spontaneous. You want to come through? Come through. What you want to do? That's not spontaneity. Spontaneity is like hitting somebody up and saying,
I got tickets to this thing at 8:00. Let's go.
Let's go. Or you think you could get off Monday? Let's book a flight. That's spontaneity.
Different lives we lead, because I'd be like, we were very different in that way. Nope.
Well, I have a remote.
Too spontaneous for me. You trying to link up and see what happens?
You couldn't do that all the time. No, many times I'd be like, well, I have to do the outline, and as long as I can bring my laptop. I literally said to somebody, and I said, how much attention would you need from me? I'm just trying to level set expectations, because
this nigga's asking you for flights.
Right. I was like, I will need to edit. I will need to work from home. I could probably be done by 5:30. It's tricky.
You trying to walk in the park? Great, let's go. Come on. You trying to go to the gas station? Nigga,
I almost ran out of gas today, B. My gas tank is sitting outside there. And you know what I just realized just now in this moment? I parked on the side of the street where I got to go out there in the morning and sit in the car from 9 to 10:30.
With no gas.
With no gas, is going to be cold because I can't even I can't even idle. I have 20... I think it was said 15 or 20 miles left.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, I've never seen my gas tank that low.
But you can do an hour on that easily.
I can idle?
Yeah. Absolutely.
We shouldn't idle. Ruining the
Too late.
earth.
Getting fucked up now. Anyhow, can we end this episode now or
it's over. Oh yes.
Thanks everybody. They said we ain't need that extra time.